Senators call on CFIUS to impose strict structural restrictions on TikTok. Senators Blumenthal and Moran say TikTok cannot be trusted by CFIUS or its tens of millions of users in the United States. Senators Richard Blumenthal, DCT, and Jerry Moran, Republican Kansas, have called on the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, CFIUS, to conclude its review of TikTok and impose strict structural restrictions between TikTok's American operations and its Chinese parent company, ByteDance, including potentially separating the companies. In a letter to Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, the senators said the bombshell disclosure that a ByteDance team spied on Forbes journalists last year exemplifies the long-term, significant threat posed by ByteDance's ownership and operation of TikTok. The letter comes at a moment of swelling regulatory concern about TikTok and ByteDance. Until recently, calls to ban or seriously restrict TikTok in the U.S. were a partisan issue, raised nearly exclusively by Republicans. But in recent months, some Democrats in the House and Senate have begun calling for a nationwide ban on the app, which is used by over 100 million Americans. The Senate passed a unanimous bill at the end of the year to ban the use of TikTok on federal government devices, and Democratic governors have also joined Republicans in banning the app on state-owned hardware. For the last several years, TikTok has been negotiating a national security contract with CFIUS, meant to address concerns that the app could be used by the Chinese government to spy on Americans or influence civic discourse. TikTok submitted a proposal to CFIUS in August that would allow ByteDance to continue to own the app, but would separate out U.S. user data and limit access to it by employees located in China. It is unclear, however, whether CFIUS will find this proposal acceptable. In December, Politico reported that some agencies informing its decision wanted the app sold to a U.S. company. Disclosure: in a previous life, I held policy positions at Facebook and Spotify. Among Senators Blumenthal and Moran's biggest concerns about TikTok is what they referred to as a campaign of diversion and deflection undertaken by the company in response to congressional and journalistic investigations. They cite misleading tweets the company made last October following Forbes reporting that ByteDance had planned to use TikTok to surveil U.S. citizens, which Forbes later revealed were Forbes reporters. They also cite concessions by the company, made only after public leaks to BuzzFeed News, that Chinese staff would still be able to access some U.S. user data. Unlike some of their colleagues who have argued for an outright ban on TikTok, Blumenthal and Moran are, at least for now, leaving open the possibility that a CFIUS deal can address their concerns. But, they said, the committee should not put its imprimatur on a deal with TikTok if it cannot fully ensure our personal data and access to information is free from spying and interference from the Chinese government. The letter also demonstrates an advantage held by TikTok and ByteDance as CFIUS considers their proposal. Every day the government continues considering the contract is a day that TikTok and ByteDance are allowed to keep operating in the U.S. without legal constraint. And the senators have made clear that they do not trust the companies without an agreement in place. We cannot rely on paper promises and unenforced half measures from a company that has abused our trust when our national security is at stake.